my God, how many freaking YouTube channels does Darren Williger have? Well, there's got to be at least a half a dozen of them, maybe a dozen. Who knows? Whatever, a lot. There's a lot. There's always a lot. But the point is, I talk a lot, and that's where I need to go and re-explain that thing. Like, why do people with Asperger's talk so much? It was more like a pro-Aspie thing. But instead of that, I should tell you the real reason, because this would affect everybody who's got it. I think that I'm finally finding the commonalities, and you meet one person with this Asperger's thing, you met one person with this Asperger's thing. Trust me on that, please. If you meet somebody else, my sensitivities aren't theirs. You have to be patient and listen, because what we're saying is real. It means that we're born with some special gifts in our brains that I think are also impacted by decisions we make by the age of 10. But that's just my thought. My point is, I talk a lot, and it's confusing when I say there's times I can't talk and I don't like being forced to talk by the police. It's not this part. It's being forced to listen. I, Darren Williger, am a visually oriented thinker. Can I think the way the normal people do? Fuck yes. I could even slow down to the point that I breathe like other people, and body language is like a natural, like I use instincts most likely from the maternal side to analyze emotions, stuff like that. My father's side more patternistic, but Darren's side more sixth sense stuff, fills in the blanks between the senses that get overloaded with me. I've always looked at life about balance and saying, I'm going to say some stupid ass shit. Let me put it out there at the flea market or some public place like Reptile Show. Bring my full vibe, because friends out at those areas, well, generally there's going to be more people like me. And it's the whole probability game too in a large environment. Additionally, the sensory overload from everything going on there. I mean, animal thing, there's going to be scents and sounds, any kind of like flea thing, there's going to be like, and that overload allows me to, in my choice state of mind, when I choose to do that, to reset, to vibe with people. I'm always good in person, but there's times I need to be alone. And it's often asked to me, Darren, my God, are you always on? Yes, except when I'm off. When I'm off, it doesn't mean that since I couldn't take your phone call to call the fucking pigs. Okay? And my explanation, pardon the fucking pigs forcing me to talk, it happened a half a dozen goddamn fucking times in 2013, ultimately ended me with permanent fucking nerve damage and pain that you guys can't feel. So I do my best to describe it when I say it's fucking frozen to the bone level, and between the cartilage and every time I take a step, there's not a part of my body that doesn't ache. But I'm not going to take a painkiller for this shit, because I'm going to keep pushing through, because I'm already better for that. And whatever I learn maybe will help other people. That's my goal. So that's it. I keep babbling on and on. Blah 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 blah. I'm a silly crazy man and I am semi-intelligent, but that's never obvious because I hide it with my dorkiness. Scooby Dooby Doobody, that works for me because as a kid I got my ass kicked for being super smart and creative. Scooby da ba da ba da, and I don't fucking care when I say shit like that. It's like Scooby da ba da. It's just a fucking fart. My outside me and my inside me are different fucking pigs in Palatine are goddamn fucking Machiavellian sick pieces of shit. Is something I'm still going to continue to say, it seems, but doing better today than calendar would predict. Past 10 days, my time, space, magic, my spatial synesthesia as far as how I handle every day for me is the same day as it was. It's like Groundhog Day in my head. To elevator of what is this guy? Everything's in this year's. I like to remember everything about every experience, especially what my friends care about. So if somebody shares a particular sensitivity, if they had a loss of a loved one, if they have a particular word that makes them hurt, I feel people's fucking pain, and I don't know what mine are. I don't know my own self. Myself is not you. I'm very not words. Again, back to the listening thing. It ties into what I just said. Because I care about people, love people, and respect people, and so much feel people's pain, I could say something like, "Yeah, I got my ass kicked and I'm a great man now. I used to fight like a fucking pussy with my thumb inside the fingers until I lived with a badass who had an IQ of 80 and is now on death row. But he taught me to fight and I taught him to meditate." So that's a good exchange. But point being, his gain vocal articulation probably fucked him on the retard claim, but I digress. my God. Yeah, I'm a weird guy. Jumps all over the place. At least I'm jumping all over without screaming. That shit was fucking waking me up. And yeah, I was in different mind states. That was me. The Palatine Police Department raped my rights as an American. They destroyed the most important one to me, which is the Fourth Amendment, when I totally got so burnt out, not wanting to embarrass Gayla, that's my biological mother, who kicked me out October 10th in 1986. And at that point, she's no longer my mother. I loved her up until December 7th, 2013. You take away my rights as an American, you committed treason, you should be hung. Hey, cut and dry, fucking ass-face. And that's the way I have to look at it, because I'd still like to try to hold on to some good memories I have to find. And I'm sure there were some, otherwise, and that's pissing me off. I've never lost a memory. And what's going on right now is, I guess I kind of got to trust my sixth sense more than before, is there's still some Wikipedia left in the side where I kept all my, like, this is what person said, and this inflection means this, and then this, that all started online, but then translated into my real life, like, come to life thing, and then now that's all I got, and reconnecting online is backwards. So it's very hard for me. I've never been able to do email and phones at the same time, ever. Before my best days. I'm just super fast and stuff. I also do a lot of stuff with space. I do time manipulation. I put stuff on hold. It's why nobody will ever see me having a panic. I get home and I chill out, but I can know, like, at the time, like when the cops are I could be like, I know the amount of time that I'm going to need to aggressively work out later. And what happened last year is that kept getting stripped away from me. So basically I had what somebody would call, doctors refer to Asperger meltdown. Basically, what my mom would, like, beat the fuck out of me for and call a temper tantrum, and then later teach all the other kids in this disgusting, retarded version of the Brady Bunch. But we were on Warner Saunders, and there's something symbolic about New Year's Eve to me and family, and I always look to protect my brother. He didn't really have his dad around, and blah, blah, blah. Fucking who cares? But the point is, we're on the show Warner Saunders, which is like the Jerry Springer of us older generation. My God, in my fucking 40s. And on this show, he was like, yeah, Darren's like the bad kid. And I'm just like, hey, what's up, everybody? And that's kind of part of my secret, too. So as far as my reference that you can't see, one of my biggest fears that I had to face is cameras freak the shit out of me. And I'd go out and be like looking everywhere. I'd see the cameras out in the sky in the store. And I got enough social anxieties and shit. So I bought a camera a decade ago, and it freaked me the fuck out. I turned on, I sweat in front of it. I still get nervous every time I come here. So I'll make sure to be awesome as I can. And if I'm not, you better fucking tell me if I'm not catching it. Hell, I see like 20% me in the Willy Lee. It's like, I mean, it's me, but it's like, oh. And I like to hack myself. I can share more secrets, but that may bore you. Who knows if you think it's a secret? Maybe it sounds just silly. You're allowed to laugh at all my life drama. You're encouraged to. Okay? I seem to be pissing some people off, which is okay if I learn from it. But if people said, hey, I'm your family member and I unfollowed you on Facebook for this, tell me. I don't really give a shit. But I want to learn so I don't offend others. Right? So what really happened is I put one of these like crazy videos on Facebook. I actually meant to put a different one. And again, I don't regret the one I put on there, because kind of like the whole, whatever I'm doing now, I know I have to do. I know I have to do. And sometimes it bothers me when I know I have to do stuff that I don't want to do. It's like this whole thing, this obsession with the pig thing that's lit up after Detective Brian, third time in 24 hours, just pounded on my head. First of all, I don't care to be profiled by the police in my home. It's insulting. Second, I'm an Aspie. I don't let anybody come over, and it's sometimes more for you. I want to set up my home that I think you'd be most comfortable. I'm also going to be wondering, like, I'm going to think about everything. Right now, I'm thinking about a smelly person who came over here the other day. Oh, gross. Seriously, I'm going to have a visceral response. I got to go.